Well, hello everyone, and welcome to a special edition of Wombs with a View. I am Sylvia Otbos, and you'll notice Jenny B is not here with me today, but I have a special guest who I'm so excited to speak with. Welcome, Sonali Thaker. Is that how you say your name?
Yes, that's
Yes.
correct. Yes.
And when we started our show, and Sonali, I didn't share that with you. When we started this show a few months ago, some of the mums on the page, we were saying, "What would you like us to talk about?" And we thought it'd be pregnancy and birth and postpartum stuff, exactly what your blog is all about. And so
Right.
many of them were saying, "Do you have any activities we can do for kids? Because the quarantine is taking over, and we've run out of activities to do with the kids." So when I met you online and started looking and delving into your blog, and saw that you are like the craft queen, I have to have her on the show. So I'm so happy to welcome you here. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you, Sylvia. Thanks for having me on the show today. Look forward to talking more about the activities with you.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. I know a little bit. You have a full-time job. You are
Right.
a mom. Tell us a little bit more.
Sure. So I'm located in Toronto, and I've been here ever since I came to Canada almost 9 years ago. And
Which was yesterday. You
absolutely,
celebrated.
yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So I've always been in Toronto ever since I've been in Canada. I work as a finance professional, as a controllership advisor, and I'm also a trained mediator. So I offer mediation services, and I volunteer with St. Stephen's Community Group, and we do a lot of mediations time and again. Apart from that, I'm a full-time mommy to my
Yes.
3.5-year-old son. His name is Arav. And also, we do a lot of activities together, especially the quarantine has kind of bound us way more than before because it's a lot of time that we spend together. And I'm also a published author for my book called Konnichiwa Japan, A Place Where Sun Rises and People Bow.
I saw that online this week. You are just on fire, Sonali. It's amazing. So your book is about your experiences in Japan.
Yes, that's correct. I'd visited Japan as an exchange student way back in 2008. And then, yeah, it was a project. It was a dream project, which now finally came to life, thanks to quarantine, I would say.
Yes, did that spur you on to get that done?
Yes,
Oh,
absolutely.
wonderful.
and
Wonderful.
and my most recent project, actually, we'll talk more about that for sure, is about a Mama Brain magazine, where I'm a columnist writing and talking more about the toddler activities.
Mama Brain magazine. Isn't that don't we all have Mama Brain? I think that's it. I love it. I love it. So this is taking over for you. This is becoming your hobbies are passion and becoming you're getting very involved in the community, and I'm so excited. So I will be honest with everybody. I am not a craft person. I don't like glitter. I like glitter, but perhaps not just on my kitchen floor. But other people do, and I'm super happy because I look at all the lovely artwork you have behind you, and I'm assuming that's you and your son doing that.
Yeah.
And today, that's what we're going to delve in. I'd love to see who's online. How old are your kids? What activities you're doing. So if you're listening, let us know and you share with us. We want to know more because I bet you quarantine has just it's been very long. The kids have been cooped up. And
Yeah.
there's only so many macaroni necklaces we can do, right?
That's for sure, for sure.
So tell us, have you always liked craft? How did you get into this?
Sure. So, yes, first answer, I
Okay.
always loved art and craft. So, as a child myself, I would always wait for our summer breaks so that's the time I get lots and lots of things to do, right? I used to craft using the old newspapers that they would deliver at home. So, every time I would just make little bags out of the newspapers, try to troll it, and then make little doll houses, doll beds and stuff. I loved even dressing up my Barbie dolls
Yes.
as a little girl child, and I would make up all those dresses by myself. So I would just I
Wow.
would cut it from the fabric that I like or my old dresses, and then try to match it up with my other dolls. So I used to do a lot of art and crafts. I'm also formally trained in clay modeling, glass painting, also
Okay.
bread craft. So I used to do a lot of activities, and then I'm born and raised, and I did my schooling back in India. So art and craft is more of a subject for us. So it's one of the
Okay.
courses we take it at school, and you have to pass it in order to graduate from whatever grade you are in, right? So it was more of a learning, but then I also took it as a hobby outside of the classroom. And so I did a lot of art and craft back then. And when my son was born, as he started growing older, we did a lot of activities at home too. He would do some at the daycare. He would bring his craft work at home, and then we would try to do something modified from his daycare version, just so that he has two things to show to his
Yes, how nice.
grandparents, right? So that's how my love for the crafts reborn once my son was growing old. And then the quarantine kind of gave us an opportunity to do more of that, because as we are all just indoors, can't really do much. So we all took the craft and arts very seriously. As you look at the wall right behind me, it's everything that my son has done so
Okay.
far. It's more. There's more. Like I have a full binder sitting right there with all his activities. And he's one of those kids who don't want to let go anything, even if it's just a
Oh,
scribble. So I have to store it, save it, and keep it. So we've done that. I also have done like a couple of things. Like if you look at this little tin, so it's an empty tin from the bean box, and
yeah.
then we just kind of put a paper on it. He drew these shapes on his own. He's learning to draw shapes.
Okay.
So, and then I helped him cut and paste it here. We did this little guy here.
Oh, that's so cute.
This guy is
That's so cute.
recycling a Coke can. So it's a
Okay.
soda can, and then I just used some pipings to kind of tie it around.
Piping. Okay.
Yeah, it's the pipes, and then a little pom pom with the eyes, and then I recycled. If you look here, there are Kirkland ice cream sticks to
That's right.
show the
That's
little
good.
bunny
Good.
ears.
Recycling is always
So
good.
yeah, so my
Very
art and craft
cute.
come from recycles a lot, and then I also believe a lot in gathering the family and doing these activities along. So I also plan activities where dads can get involved, grandparents can get involved. So one of the activities that we did was our uh, palm prints,
Ah,
and then we
yeah.
all
Isn't that
decorated our
nice?
own. And then I have like we put it in a vase, so
The
I have
whole
a big vase.
family.
So
The
yeah, so that's my son's painting. He did it all, and he loves doing things like these. So one of the other activities which all my fans and followers
I
love.
saw this on your blog and I said, I don't like crafts, but I want one of these. I think my
So,
girls would just love it. Isn't it gorgeous?
yeah, so this is
Tell us how to do this.
so this is I call it like the fairy nightjar. You can actually, this is very simple. As beautiful as it looks, it's so simple to do it. So I literally just use like a very basic mason jar. If you look here, it's a mason jar. I just used the cutout of the fairies that I wanted. My son loves Tinkerbell. He's a big
Okay.
Tinkerbell fan. So I had to use Tinkerbell. So I just stuck Tinkerbell and other fairy cutouts inside. If you look here, that's where I stuck
Yeah.
it. And then I just used the gift paper, the stuffing paper that we use for the gift bags. So it's the white sheet that you see on the top.
Okay.
It's just the
Okay.
gift paper. So I used Mud Podge. You can also use a transparent glue to stick it. So you just roll it in glue and just stick the paper around. It takes about a couple minutes to dry down. And in the end, all I did was just put a little night light.
Oh, I was wondering what the light came from.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
So
yeah,
just
it's a little portable light, and your mason jar is ready.
it's
But
gorgeous. That's
and
gorgeous.
if
And I know on your blog, for those who like this idea, you've
yes,
got a blog post
yes,
explaining and detailing all the
absolutely.
I was going to say ingredients, but not the ingredients, but
The
the
step
list
by
of
step
craft.
process. Yes,
Yes,
yes. There's
and what
like
you
an
need.
instructions.
But it doesn't look too hard, but it's gorgeous. It's so
Yes,
pretty.
yes, yes. So these are the type of crafts that I do, but some of the tips I can share in terms of doing crafts with toddlers is that always try to know your kids' interests. Like
Yeah.
sometimes I know, like there was a time, because we were doing the crafts every day, my son started getting more agitated. He would just not want to do it, or maybe just give it up. So I thought maybe it's time to change. So then I started a reverse process. So I would ask him what he wanted to do for the day. And
Okay.
his one of the favorite crafts is to thumb or finger paint. So I just give him like a piece of paper, leave him on his own. He picks the colors he wants, and then he would just dip his finger and do his own thing.
What kind of
So
paints do you use?
I usually like to use the Crayola washable paints.
Okay.
They're available at dollar stores or
idea.
Dollar Tree. Yeah, all the supplies that I use. Like I use lots of Crayola. Most products I use are Crayola products. They're all available at the dollar store. I also sometimes go to some warehouse sales, and they have a lot of things available online. For our mommies who are joining us today, I can also recommend Samco Miko Toy Warehouse. If people have not looked them up, just Google it up. It's SAMKO and MICO, if I'm not wrong. And Samco and Miko Warehouse has lots and lots of kids' toys, activities, and books. And the prices are unbeatable.
Oh,
You will
nice.
never find them anywhere. And right now, with the COVID situation, they're also doing curbside pickups and deliveries.
Oh, wonderful.
So yeah, so just feel free and check it out, and you can certainly order toys and stuff. So a lot of the times when I go there, I buy supplies from the warehouse. But again, dollar stores my always to go place to get.
Well,
these
they just
supplies.
have, and they have some good things. They have some name brands as well,
Yes,
right? So, and
yes.
their stock changes a lot. So I must admit, I get some stuff there as well for the crafting and the painting.
Absolutely, yes. So I have like a little caddy for him, which has all his supplies, so he knows where to go and get things from. With toddlers, like I know I've seen a lot of change in my son as he hit the 3-year mark. He wanted to start taking more control of things, and he didn't like me telling him, okay, here, let me bring this to you, or here's what you want to do. So I started learning more about his psychology, but at the same time trying to see how I can make change in our routine that he would feel more in control. And so I would tell him, okay, what do you want to do for the day? And then he would go and pick what he wants to do. So if he wants to do finger painting, he picks a piece of paper, he chooses the colors. Like if you look at the back, there's all different colors of paper. So I use the Crayola construction papers, and then he would pick a color he wants, and then he would decide, okay, does he want to do painting today? Does he want to just stick some papers? Does he want to do something with popsicle sticks? Again, popsicle sticks are very safe to use. Sometimes just painting a popsicle stick is an activity in itself.
Yeah,
So
of course, at that age, at 3, I mean, they're still little at that age too. But you're right about the wanting to be autonomous, right? I mean, we get all these toys for our kids, but what they want to play with the most at that age, at 2, is the drawer that they can access, right, with all the Tupperware in it. And you're like, why do I buy you toys if all you want to do is play with my Tupperware? So
true.
what I really like, and my kids are not young anymore. I mean, they're young, but they're not toddlers. They're 8, 10, and 12. So very autonomous, and but I wish I had done that. It might have made my crafting life a little bit easier, because I have 2 girls and they enjoy that. But having the trolley, having a dedicated space for them that they could just go in, or buckets perhaps. I don't feel that I organized that very well for them. So it was always such a bigger deal than it needed to be for me.
Right. No, I agree. And so for any of our mommies joining us today, so I do have a blog dedicated to how to organize your toddler area.
Oh, very
so
nice.
Feel free to go and check it out, because you'll see more than just art and crafts, like how I have kind of given him more space so that he is more in control of things. And one of the other things my son loves doing is reading books. When I say reading, it's like reading with me, my husband and his grandparents, but also reading on his own. Even though he can't still read the letters or alphabet. But what he has been doing nowadays is, like, when we read him a book, the next morning he would sit with the book by himself, recall what we read
Yeah.
with him, look at
Yeah.
the pages and try to relate. And I'm like, wow,
Oh,
this
I
this
love
is
that
amazing,
stage.
right? And then you
Yeah.
try to see the new story that he would formulate, right? Like he
Right.
remembers some stuff and then like, oh, but then if there's a picture with a fox going on a bike, we only talk about where the fox is going, but he talks more about the bike. Oh, the fox
That's
is not
right.
wearing a helmet, he's missing his knee pad. So it's like it's also increasing the creativity. So I feel
Yeah.
like toddler activities do go beyond just art and craft, and
Yes.
it includes their vocabulary and their vocational learning as well. One of the other activities that I can definitely suggest that I've tried with my son is, again, going back to the same leadership quality they want to develop, is that give them some chores to do around the house.
Oh, I love that one. Yes, I'm a big
It's
one for chores. And they
yeah,
like it when they're 3 years old, 4 years
exactly.
old.
So one of the first chores I introduced him was to help me set the table for
Hmm.
dinner and lunches. And he would, I think, ever since he was 2.5, and when he started walking on his own, he would always pick up his plate after every meal and leave it in the kitchen sink. And so when I started kind of putting out the tables, he's like, okay, can I hold the spoons? Can I hold the plates? And I'm like, sure. So now it's a routine that he sets the table every day.
That's right.
If I
Don't
did
let
it,
that stop, Sonali. I must
yeah,
say, they will start when they're 7 or 8. They will start getting grumpy about those. But you say, no, that is your chore.
job.
That is what you. It's your job.
I agree.
Yeah, but then they want to be helpful at that age, so why
Absolutely.
not? And it's learning life skills. I mean that,
Right.
and then you can get your whole house cleaned, right?
I know. I know.
They can
I hope
sweep
so.
the floor. That's right, the vacuum cleaner. Oh,
Yeah. And,
nice.
and one thing I would say is like never stop a toddler, even if he wants to
Yeah.
help create a mess, let
Yes.
them do it. Because I've always seen every time I try to say no, there's more of a pushback in terms of why no. So I let him do
Mm,
it. He loves baking cakes with me. So we do. I let him,
yeah.
all he does is like just sit with me. We have the KitchenAid on. It does his own thing. The
Yeah.
batter is getting ready, but he loves just putting the batter in. And that's fun for him. Sometimes it goes all over the place, but I still let him do it because that's going to make him learn things and get better in the future. So yeah, like introduce simple chores. Other thing he has to do is clean up all the shoes. So he's responsible to make sure that all the shoes are in the shoe closet. And then sometimes I tease him. I'm like, okay, if any shoes are out, if your shoes are not in its place, they're going to go into the garbage bin.
Oh
And
no.
then I get tricked again. Mom, your shoes are around. And he comes over, right?
There,
Which
that's
is like, yeah.
right.
So I feel like it's parenting in the right direction. So,
Oh, that's good. No, but it doesn't start. They have these charts you see online as well. Chores for the little ones
right,
as they get bigger, how much they can take.
right,
Jenny B, who's not here today, but she's watching online. I saw, her little girl is her big girl is 9 years old and
wow.
cooks full meals in
That's
the kitchen with
amazing.
the oven. And I can't say my kids do that, right? But she's
Right,
allowed her that, her love of food. She noticed that and tapped
right.
into it and now allows her, she just goes with it. And I was like, wow, that's amazing. While, getting my 11-year-old to, make mac and cheese is a hard one.
I'm sure she'll get there.
Yeah, that's right. Oh gosh. So what do you have behind you? Were you going to show us some lovely things behind
Sure.
you?
So let me just move a little bit here. So I hope this is a better view.
Yeah, yeah,
So
we
I
can
have
see.
some of these. So we did the palm print on Canada Day. So he just kind of used his palm, and then we did the finger printing on the
Yeah, around it.
sides. Right beside it, the snail is made out of pistachio shells. So it's, instead of discarding it, again, as I said, I'm a big recycle lover. So we did some pistachio recycling, and then they're all with the shells. These are, again, some pipings. We did some paper craft. He made happy and sad smiley faces at the top. All the alphabets that you see right in the white pieces here, they're all thumb paints. And then we made little animals
Oh,
out of
fun.
it. Yeah, so those are all our fun paint animals. This one is a popsicle stick and a pom-pom house that he really wanted to make. So our first thing we did was coloring the popsicle stick, and then he kind of went ahead and decided how he wanted to place it. We did some fork painting. So all the flowers are made out of the back of the fork. So it's
Oh,
just
fun.
fork paint, fork painting, and then all the other stuff is finger paint. And okay, let me move this a
Lovely.
little bit. Oh, right
Oh,
there.
I love it seeing all the
So,
diversity.
right. So let me see this one. So the green one that you see right there, that is his first painting where he said, "This is Earth," according to him.
Oh, okay.
So that's his first time
Has
he did
meaning, has
something. Yes,
meaning. It's a,
yes.
yes, you're
So
going to
he
want to keep
decided
that
the
one.
colors. Yeah, it's black and red and green and yellow. But yeah, he decided the paper color. He decided the paint color, everything.
I
So
always
right,
like seeing them, Sonali, when they come to you with a drawing and then you're trying to and say, guess what it is, mummy, and then you can never guess what it is until
yeah, I know.
you have
I'm
to
always
tell
in
me
that
I'm
situation.
lost,
I'm
I'm
like,
not sure.
yeah, is that something? Okay, do you think it's this? No, it's that. I have to act up sometimes
Yeah,
just
exactly.
to get what they have to
Our
say, right?
acting skills as parents get really
So
good.
this one that you see right here, the
Yeah, the
little
little
frame,
one.
so that is a different one. So for those parents who feel their kids are like really messy, get too messy, and the parents are in a rush and want to go no mess, then that's the idea. So what I did, it's one of those fabrics that I used, and then I just put some paint on it, and then I wrapped it with a cling wrap. And so my son
Okay.
just went ahead, kind of mushing it all around so that none of the paint came out of the wrap, luckily.
Yeah,
And then it turned out to be such a beautiful piece that we put it out there. So
that's beautiful.
yeah, we've been doing all these activities. So one of the other ones that this was more of my activity, I can say. So this,
It's
so
lovely.
so this is
Wow, look at
it.
that.
Yeah, it's an empty shampoo bottle, if I recall. And so instead of throwing it away, we just kind of upcycled it, painted it, and then you have some little flowers in
Little
it. So
flowers, lovely.
so those are the kind of things I believe we do a lot of the times. I know as a working mom, sometimes it's really hard to get them to do something like, okay, sit down and do the colors and stuff like that. So I also have a lot of learning activities for him. I create some pre-done templates for him. So there's scavenger hunts, there's activities which includes alphabets, numbers, counting, and all these are downloadable, available on my blog. So if
Oh,
anybody's visiting
good.
them,
Well,
they can look it up and they can download it.
wonderful.
I also have invested some great learning toys such as Lego,
Yes.
Mega Bloks.
Oh, my, yeah, and he's going to start to love that now, like at 3. And I have
Yes.
2 children who love Lego. And my 8-year-old, she gets the sets when we buy them, but it's really fun. She likes to take them all apart and then create her own. She's
Oh,
created houses and
wow.
people and little flower pots. It's
Right.
amazing what
I
they're it's like.
know.
How do you know this? Like, no one's ever taught you this, but
Yeah.
they can really get creative. And Lego is
Yes.
amazing. That's
I
great.
love Lego is one of my
I don't
favorites
like
too.
stepping on it, Sonali, but
Oh yes, yes, I agree. It's one of the most painful things ever.
it really is. It really is. But what we do for our children, right? What we
Yes,
do, we'll
yes,
step on a
yes.
few pieces.
For sure. Yeah. So I have Lego that I also have the magnetic set. So he can build structures using those magnet sets.
Okay.
These are all 3+ recommended toys.
Yeah.
So, and again, always be sure that you're watching your child when they're playing with these toys. Like usually Lego, I only play with him when we are around. But
Right.
Mega Blocks, he's all on his own. He builds his towers. He loves building CN Tower.
Yeah, they're bigger. The
So
mega
yeah, the
blocks are
Mega Blocks
bigger.
are
Yeah.
pretty big in size. So
Especially
that
magnets. You don't want them eating and
yes.
swallowing the
With
magnets,
the
right?
magnets, so they're actually like sheets.
The big
So
ones.
yeah, it's inside. So
Yeah.
unless it's broken, the magnet would come out. But otherwise, it's safe. But I still watch him over whenever he's
Yeah.
playing magnets. I also have a stem set for him. So it comes with a little drill and some screws, and they can do fixing and create structures and stuff. So I love that set. Again, all these items I'm talking, it's all available on my blog. So when you go in and check out some of the activities that I do with my toddler in quarantine, my blog Safe
Yes.
Quarantine Activities, you'll be able to see and find the links to
You've
all
got
these
links to the
products.
products.
Yes, and
Yes,
I'm a
wonderful.
big Amazon person, so most of my links would bring you to Amazon.
Okay.
But yeah, again, the prices are great. I love, and it's easier because we're all staying home. It's easy. You have a home delivery, and just out of caution, every time I receive my package, I put it out in sun. I make sure it's Lysol wiped before anything is used, so it's safe to use. So those are the kind of things in terms of toys that I have for him. We also do no supplies activities where you don't need anything.
Okay.
who are just, like say you're in a car, or you're at the
Yes,
park,
like the
or you're sitting
games
home, and
or
and you don't want to do anything, like, oh, I don't want to pull out anything.
right.
So I do a lot of no supply activities with him too. So one of the quick game I can share is, it's called color game. So all I say is, okay, color. So my son says color, and then I would say, okay, which color? And then we would pick a color for him. So I would say yellow, and then he has to run around the house and try to find out
Yeah.
yellow color things.
You're
So it's
right.
like, okay, he's got his job and he has to find
And
5.
name them.
Or,
Okay.
So he would name them. So he's learning colors. He's
Yeah.
learning to name things, and his vocabulary is going to improve because he has to say the full name
Right.
of the thing and into a proper sentence. So we're trying to do that. The other thing is we play a memory game. So I start with a word. I would say flower. Then it's his turn. He has to say flower plus add a new word. And
That's a
then
hard one.
my turn. Yeah, but he's loving this. I'm telling you, he loves this game so much. And it's easier because, again, I don't need to worry about any supply.
Yeah. You
And
don't
then
have
it's
to.
a quick game for us both to do it. And alongside all the activities, I always encourage him to read and write a lot. I am also a no screen mom. So my son only has 20 minutes of his screen time every day.
Okay. Yeah.
And that screen time is only limited to our television set. He's never touched iPads. He's never touched cell phones. And I've tried to keep him away. I know it's getting hard.
Yeah. Try. Keep doing it. Keep staying. Keeping them away from it as long as you can.
Right.
Because once they get on, then they get hooked, right? And
Absolutely.
I
So,
mean, that doesn't mean you can't still do the timing, right? We're
Right.
big on timing as well. Like they get
Right.
some time in the morning and time in the afternoon,
Right.
but
Right.
they get it's addictive.
Yeah, I
Just
know.
like for
So,
adults, right?
so
So
I've tried my best because as a
and it
working
doesn't
mom,
mean, Sonali, I will say what you told me before we were talking about our internet connections. It
right.
doesn't mean Sonali does not have screens in her house because she
Absolutely.
said she's got close to 20 screens in her house.
That's true. That's true. It's just not for him
Not
yet.
yet. Not yet.
Not
Their
yet.
brains are just developing,
I
right? They
know.
don't
I
need
know.
so much. They
And
don't
that's the
need so
reason,
much.
like, anytime we go out, like even at the dollar store, he looks at books, he asks for books, and we get him books. He has more than 50, 60 books of his own collection.
Wow.
And
Lovely.
as I said, he just sits down, reads through it, enjoys them. And we, like, now he's getting into more of Toy Story and stuff like
Yes.
that.
Oh, those are
Yeah,
fun. Those are fun.
so it's that. But talking to the screen time, we do have a movie night. So it's
Yeah,
once a
okay.
week, and we do a Friday night movie night.
So do we.
We turn out the lights. It's all the popcorn and
Yes, the
juice and
kids love
everything.
it.
Yes, and
Well, it
so
becomes very special, doesn't it? Right? Because they
it
look
does.
forward to Friday.
It
Yes.
does. He looks forward to the Fridays, and one of the things that make me proud of being like a good parent is that the Friday nights when it's movie nights, he would come to me and tell me, "Mama, it's my movie night, so I'm not gonna watch my 4 o'clock show."
Right.
So he gives up the time
At three
without
and a
me
half.
asking.
At three
Yeah.
and a
So
half. Look at
I'm
that.
like, keep it up, buddy.
That's right. And then we pat ourselves. We're doing a good job, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, these are the kind of activities I always do with him. And as I said, just enjoy the moment with your child. Sometimes we just do it for fun. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's more like, I like to spend that time with him. It's more bonding. I also push my husband to do some
I
activities
was
with
just thinking, I was like, is your hubby, is he a crafty man? Does he
him.
like doing those activities? Because we each have
Um,
our strengths, right?
Absolutely.
I'm
Yeah.
not into crafts, but I love board games. So when you
Right.
were talking
Right.
the memory game, I remembered, oh, we used to have you flip the cards and try and
Right.
find, and my 5-year-old would beat me all the time, right?
Right.
So
Well, my hubby is not a big art and craft guy, but he's taken it on really well, as I said, because I do a lot of family
family
time
ones,
activities.
yeah.
So he would get involved, he would draw. He would always say, "Oh my God, why are you putting me through this?" But yeah, we do it for our son, right?
Of
So yeah,
course, and
he
family time
enjoys
spent
it.
together.
Absolutely. And he's more, like dads are more rough and tough guys, like more sporty people. So he would talk more about bringing my son to the bike, and they would go out, walk in the evening, they'll ride the scooter
Of course,
and all of
yes.
those kind of things. But yeah, he plays equal role, I would say. So reading the books, yeah, when daddy and him reads the books, it's a different story altogether.
Yeah.
So it's more fun to watch both of them talk about it. But no, the my hubby does play equal role, I would
Oh
say.
yeah,
So
and I
we
think we
both
each have
share the
our strengths
responsibility.
and
Yeah.
yeah, and what we like together, and that's what parenting's all about, right? Where
Yes,
they get
absolutely.
access to all of our genius. Do Ida, my colleague Ida, she was running. Do you keep all the crafts he makes? I know you mentioned at the beginning your son doesn't like to throw them away,
Right.
so we have
Um,
to hide them sometimes, right?
right. So what I have done is I put it into a folder, a three roll binder, and I try to punch it and put it all there. Yeah, some of the crafts I know I can't even store them. So
Yeah.
usually when he's off to bed, I'm like,
No,
yeah, I kind of
some of them
take it away.
disappear.
But yes, most of the times his paper art, I do store them. I know, like I live in an apartment, so I understand spaces are always a
Mm.
problem. But yeah, I always store it into a binder. Well, I'm one of those memory loving people. So I have his memories since my pregnancy days.
Yes,
And then I have his first year, my pregnancy journal, his first year, second year, third year, and fourth year going on. So yes, I do store things, but again, I try to limit it to like a bin so
Yeah,
that it's
I
all
did
in
bins
there.
as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I
Well,
do that.
you do that if you have one child. I did it sort of with my second, and I will say that my third doesn't, she does have a box, but there's no journal anymore. There are not as many pictures anymore. So I'm going to do this call again when you have other children, Sonali, and,
Okay,
and
look
then
forward
we'll
to it
see.
then.
And then we'll see if we have all of the same number of boxes
For
per
sure.
child. But of course, the first done, they get all of
All
us,
the
all of
attention,
our
right?
attention, and it's lovely. Well, thank you so much, and thank you. Do you have any? Do you have anything else to share? That you
Yes,
wanted
I
to
just
show
wanted
us?
to share with everyone about the Mama Brain magazine
Yes.
that's coming up soon. So the magazine is on the pre-launch starting today. It's coming out on September the 8th. It's a digital magazine with
Okay.
over 50 contributors. It's an annual magazine with a subscription value of $47. It gives you 6 issues plus
Okay.
the inaugural issue for free. If you don't subscribe the inaugural issue, you will not be able to retrieve that because it's a very special edition with over 200 pages. It's a magazine.
Wow.
Just
Wow.
imagine.
Yeah. Imagine.
And yeah, so right now because we are in the pre-launch, so the subscription of $47 is on a discounted price for $37. So right after our call, Sylvia, I'll share the link with you, and please
Please
feel
do.
free to share
Yeah.
it with the group as well. So if you register using that link, you'll be eligible for that $10 discount, which should be ending I think September 4th. So from
Okay.
now until September 4th. So you're actually getting 7 issues of this amazing magazine,
Mm.
and we're talking about different portfolios. You'll read more about women empowerment. There's lifestyle, kids, how to deal with your work, lots and lots of topics to talk about. It's not just focused on mommy and parenting. So feel free to check it out.
Definitely.
Also, yeah, visit my blog, Babies and Me. If you're looking for more ideas on toddlers and kids, you can also view more pictures of all the activities that we've been doing on my blog, of course, and also links to a lot of the products that I use. So feel free to check it out, babiesandme.ca. And yeah, that's it. Thank you so
That's
much for
wonderful. Well,
having
it's been
me.
great chatting with you, and I think you are, like I said, the craft queen. I love it. I love it, and lots of
Thank you.
original ideas. And my favorite one. Show us again before we go. The fairy one. The
Oh, the
fairy.
fairy right
For those who
here.
joined us late, look at this gorgeous, gorgeous fairy dust little nightlight. I think I'll have to get. I'm going to go on your blog and check that one out for sure. My
For
girls are
sure.
gonna want to do that one.
If you do it, share it with me. Share the pictures.
I will
Feel free.
definitely. Well, thank you so much. It was lovely meeting you, and we will might come back with a second show. Who knows? We
For
need more
sure.
activities. We're going to see how the schooling goes in September
Absolutely.
here, and if we're
Yes.
all at home again, we're going to need more activities,
For
Sonali.
sure, Sylvia. Look forward to talking to you
So
maybe in
thank
the
you.
future.
If you have any other questions for Sonali, if you're catching us in the replay, please put them in the comments and
Sure.
you can tag her. She will come back and respond to you. And we will catch you next week on another show. We are live every Wednesday at 11:30 a.m. So there you go. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you again. Bye.
Bye bye.